Throws back, wide open, touchdown! First NFL touchdown for Kristian Wilkerson.
Yeah, Wilk's a hard-working kid. He normally plays with the top or one of the top receivers of our opponents for our defense.
Jacoby talked about you being here all year, showing up first earlier in the morning, 6 a.m. or whatever. Can you talk about what it was like, and did you ever think this moment would come that you would finally get the opportunity?
I feel like this is just the standard here to come in and work hard every day. So it's not like I think about it. Just working hard is the standard here.
The Las Vegas Raiders continue to add to their wide receiver room. This is absolutely insane. The Raiders and Josh McDaniels have 11 wide receivers right now, and now 3 of these wide receivers are actually former Patriots because they had a new addition today. We're going to get into what this means for the 53-man roster and what this could mean for somebody like Hunter Renfrow, but the Raiders signed today Kristian Wilkerson, just signed the contract right there. This is Aaron Wilson of Pro Football Network reporting on this. And Wilkerson is an unproven wide receiver. In 2020, he was an undrafted free agent, floated around with the Titans, floated around with the Patriots, and actually played some preseason football and regular season football with the Patriots. Did a good job, wide open, did a good job here, but he is going to add some wide receiver depth, and Josh McDaniels has technically worked with this guy, has technically been around this guy in 2020, in 2021. Wilkerson is 6'1", 214 pounds. The last time he appeared in a regular season football game was against Jacksonville in week 17 of the 2021 season, picking up 4 receptions there on 8 targets. And last year, he did play in some preseason against the New York Giants, had an 83.6 PFF grade, 99 yards. You love to see that. So still productive against NFL talent. He has proven it. And this guy seems like he's a fiery spirit against the Panthers in joint practices while he was with the Patriots 8 months ago. He got in a little bit of a scuffle that ended up starting a brawl, and everything went absolutely crazy at practice. But really, what does this mean for the rest of the roster, and what does it mean for players like Hunter Renfrow, where now I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking, wow, how can this guy possibly be, having a large role with the Raiders? Are the Raiders really just trying to build the bottom depth of their wide receiver room? Maybe because they experienced injuries to Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller last year. They know how important it is to have wide receiver depth. They moved on from Mac Hollins, were able to retain Keelan Cole, have Chris Lacey, added Philip Dorsett, the speedy former Patriots wide receiver, DeAndre Carter, the Chargers wide receiver of last year, who had his career high and plays a lot in the slot, along with Jacoby Myers, who plays a lot in the slot and is making about $11 million a year. Cam Sims, the former Washington Commander, Trey Tucker, the 3rd round pick out of Cincinnati, the speedster who many people are high on and excited about, and it seems like Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels selected this guy in the 3rd round to play wide receiver, not just special teams. So he's going to be a competitor for slot snaps for Hunter Renfrow. And then you got DJ Turner, who actually did back up in the slot last year. And now we have Kristian Wilkerson. And Kristian Wilkerson is not a slot wide receiver. He is lined up wide primarily while with the Patriots. So he's not going to be competition for Hunter Renfrow per se, but let's just say the Raiders decide to keep Hunter Renfrow. I think he's a great wide receiver. I want them to keep him, but I cannot ignore the signs that I'm seeing, and I cannot ignore the fact that the Raiders keep adding wide receivers and wide receivers that they've worked with previously. 11 wide receivers now, starting 53 wide receivers, starting 5 wide receivers probably week 1. We're going to go Devontae Adams for sure, Jacoby Myers for sure, obviously, Trey Tucker for sure. Let's just assume Hunter Renfrow stays. That's 4. And then Philip Dorsett, you want to keep him. He's a speedy guy. They signed him. They recruited him. They seem excited about him. And if the Raiders only kept 5, you're going to say they're going to cut DeAndre Carter, Keelan Cole, or maybe Cam Sims or Kristian Wilkerson, who they just signed. I don't know about that. We know some of these guys are going to go to the practice squad, but somebody like DeAndre Carter or Philip Dorsett, they're not going to be able to go on the practice squad. They are going to be plucked by somebody for sure. And I would also add Keelan Cole to that list. So I sense something is going on. The Raiders receiver room is drastically changing, but I do think at the end of the day, the Raiders have more depth at wide receiver this year so far going into the season compared to last year. Once Waller went down, once Renfrow went down, and when Devontae Adams is double, triple covered, the Raiders really struggled last last year to do anything with just Mac Hollins and Keelan Cole. So I think they're playing it smart here, giving themselves insurance policies in case that scenario happens again. Maybe Austin Hooper or Michael Mayer isn't too hot. Maybe Jacoby Myers is not 100%. But ultimately, somebody like Kristian Wilkerson, who they just signed today, is still unproven, and we cannot assume that they're a lock to make the 53-man roster. Training camp is just around the corner and the preseason. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more Raiders content from me, Wi-Fi Willie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.